Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode, whatever you may call it. This is Between a Pot and a Hard Place presents Let's Open or Let's Unbox some action figures. I'm going to be doing this from time to time. This is a supplemental, video for our main podcast, Between a Pot and a Hard Place. So we're gonna check out some recent purchases I made. I, was feeling a little under the weather today, so I stayed home and I had some of these to open, and I thought, why not do a video? So first up, we're gonna have this is a WWE figure, which I have a lot of wrestling figures. I have superhero figures, all sorts of figures. This one is Triple H from, this is a newer figure, but it's from, based on an older version of his character. He's wearing the D-Generation X T-shirt, and that's a classic, from the '90s. If you're a wrestling fan, you may remember this. And on the back, of course, it's got some stats and everything. And of course, it shows all the line. Now, these are made by Mattel. Jack Pacific used to make the WWE wrestling figures. Now they are with Mattel. So we're going to open this up. Sometimes I like to keep boxes, but I started realizing around my house, I was cleaning the other day, and I was like, well, I've got so many. We're not even going to be easy with this. I guess we'll be a little easy with it. We're just going to rip it open. But I was noticing that I had a ton of boxes everywhere, like packages like this. There's actually still a stack behind this little tray, and you notice I collect so many things: notebooks, notes, drawings, like all kinds of things. And I have all that back there. And there used to be so much more. So now I just throw them away because I'm a collector, but I'm what they call a loose collector. I don't know if you call it a loose collector, but with figures, I never keep them in the box. There's some figures that there's some AEW wrestling figures here beside my computer. For instance, we'll just show this one real quick. And I've shown this on the podcast before, but this is Cody Rhodes. And if you don't know, if you know wrestling, you probably know who Cody Rhodes is. He's the son of the late, great American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And this is like the old 80s style LJN. Just now, yeah. But yeah, this is an older style, and at first I didn't like these because I was like, they don't do anything, they're not action, but they're cool. Yeah, so I got that. But I mean, I keep things loose like that. I open them, and sometimes I'll buy them loose. Looking at the packaging, it's so funny how some of these things are packaged because you have this little piece of plastic protecting the T-shirt when there's already this plastic. So I'm going to take the shirt out. Nice little DX shirt. And then, of course, you always have hands. So you got a little hand here, and I've got a stack of hands on a table. I have a kitchen. I have a kitchen, everybody. In the kitchen, there's this desk that I use as I used to use as a computer desk. It's actually an old game counter from a local video game store, and it stands probably like 3 or 4 feet off the ground, maybe. So it's really high for a computer desk. The one I'm currently using is really low for a computer desk. But anyway, I've got so many figures in there now. Here's a water bottle, which actually is a pretty cool water bottle, considering it's a little toy. It's got the way they painted it, the way they, made it. It actually seems like a bottle of water. So that's neat. Now we're gonna get this guy out, and I noticed that. Okay, we're gonna go for the feet. I might have to run and grab a knife or something like that. So I'm gonna mute my mic for a second because I know this can be very loud. So give me one moment. Okay, so I had to mute the mic because, as you guys know, if any of you have bought figures or anything, this stuff can be very loud, especially when we're moving a figure. But they started doing this thing. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but you see these little tie pieces up here in the corners that hold the hands in. And I get why they do it. It keeps it from moving around too much. And I understand that. But they're a pain. I love the ones that have little rubber bands. So anyway, we have this Triple H here. This is the DX Triple H, or one of them. I kind of wished, they would have put the green and black attire instead of the purple, but he wore the purple too. Sometimes new figures have stiff joints, so we're just going to try to get those pieces. We're going to look at it real quick, do a quick overview. I always look at joints and see how stiff they are or how loose they are, because sometimes you get brand new figures and they're super loose. This one, his back is arched in a weird way. I guess it's really the bend. When I bend him forward, it looks like he's looking down. I can't tilt that up too much. But yeah, his stomach joint is a little loose, not too bad. What I love about these elite figures, what they call elite figures and WWE figures, is their legs bend this way. Now I know I'm not trying to but they bend sideways, which is cool because it has more posability, more articulation. So you've got that hip joint right there. Well, that's a crotch. I'm not trying to. But his knees bend; they don't swivel. His shin joint swivels. His foot bends, and some of the feet on these have that bend right there and a tilt. This one just has the bend, but it's still pretty cool. And then we saw the t-shirt earlier on. We're going to take that, and it's attached in the back by Velcro. The sleeves, for some reason, were tucked in. So I'm going to tuck those back out. We're going to throw the shirt on him real quick. So bear with me just for a moment, because this might take a second. These are cloth, so they're not that bad. Some of the figures that you get will have like rubber clothing, which are very difficult to take off, because they'll come packaged on. A lot of these AEW guys that I bought had like leather jackets and stuff like that, and which is cool, but they are very hard to remove. And this figure is weird because you got to tuck the shirt under his hair. It's got that real thick rubbery hair, which I'm kind of glad action figures don't have cloth hair like Barbie dolls, for instance, because parents just don't understand, right, Will Smith? No, I remember my dad would always tease me and say, "You playing with your dolls?" And like, they're action figures. But yeah, now he's in his DX shirt. This is a pretty cool figure, I think. He's got his water bottle, which he can't hold it right now because he's got his DX hands. Which, if you don't know, the figures don't articulate enough to really do it. You got to bend them a lot. They would do this with their hands, and then do that kind of DX thing. And this, it's kind of funny that I'm wearing an NWO shirt and this DX, But yeah, the hands, and then we can pop one of these hands off. We're going to take his left hand, and they pop right out. And then, we're going to put the left cup hand. I'm calling it cup because, well, it's like this. We're going to take the water bottle and try to make him hold it. Sometimes this could be hard to do. There we go. Drinking water. All right, so that's that. And he's going to hold his two hands over here and go place these hands in a pile of hands that I have over in my kitchen. So next up, some people might not be a fan of this because there was some controversy, but I'm not going to get into that. We have the Justice League It says 2021, Justice League 2021. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's the Zack Snyder's Justice League, and these were made to promote the Blu-ray, which I have. Got it on a deal for $9.99, which is amazing considering that's a $25 Blu-ray. But this is the McFarlane line, McFarlane Toys, the Justice League Flash. And normally, I wasn't a fan of this one at first when I first saw it. You can see here on the back, they've got Aquaman, Batman, Cyborg, Flash, and Superman black suit. We're going to go ahead and just open this right up. I wasn't a fan of this at first, but I've already got a Flash from, it's another McFarlane toy line. McFarlane makes great toys. I don't want to call them toys too much. Great figures. But online, there was this like certain part of the community online that criticized some of the McFarlane stuff because they put out a lot of figures. They put tape on. Put tape on everything. There we go. They were criticizing some of the McFarlane toys for being poor quality, which I have never really had that many. We're going to slide this out and set it off to the side for just a moment. And you see on the card on the inside, you have a stand. And all these McFarlane toys come with a stand and a card. So we're going to take those off really quick. That's really easy to do. Pull it right off the card. And some people are like, how dare you open that? You're supposed to keep it on card. Again, I don't keep things in packages or on card. I keep them to collect. And I've got some of these cards somewhere. I don't know exactly where they're all at right now, but I have a Joker, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and another Superman here in a minute. But Flash, we're going to put him right down here on the desk and then the stand to put your figure on. So we're going to have him sit at the computer. He'll live here for a little bit. Then we're going to take this cardboard. And a lot of people, like I said, they've commented on how some of these can be poor quality. I don't think they are, but I don't think they're made to be played with, so to speak. Because you know how kids are. If you grew up, and had action figures, I'm going to use two of these characters, for instance. These guys are friends in the storyline, but you have AEW star Jake Hager, which used to be WWE's Jack Swagger. He has a cloth hoodie, something I spoke about a minute ago with cloth figures, cloth on figures, whatever. And then Sammy Guevara, which his face is really weird. I don't know why he has that like tongue sticking out. But anyway, as kids, you're sitting there like, yeah, and like actually like playing with them and make them fight. But I don't do that. I like to pose them. I'll, just stand them for a while, every now and then rearrange them, stuff like that. So I think a lot of it is people tend to not remember that these figures are geared more toward adults and older kids. The box has age 12 and up because, it's one of those things that you have to take care of and not just beat to death. We have these motion blur pieces, shattering pieces. I'm going to take these and place them on the desk here. Or no, actually, we're going to set them to the side. There's tons of little tape pieces all over this box. Okay, that's all of those. You're going to have to excuse me for... No, maybe not. I can break it. Because they have this little tie holding him in. But I might be able to break that without you going to get a knife. And I did. And he's just straight in there. I'm going to toss this to the side. Actually, I didn't like this character design at first. The figure is a little weird. He's got this weird underwear piece that I'm not too happy with. but I'm sure it'll be okay. Little disappointing, but it's all right. Yeah. So here he is. Looking at the detail, I mean, it's got some decent detail. He's got that chest bend, but it doesn't really bend that much. His head tilts, you know. I was never a fan of that version Flash gloves because his fingers are showing. So he doesn't want anybody to know his identity, right? So he's like, oh no, I've got to go into this evil lab to steal these files so they can't use them for world domination. Touching everything with his fingertips, leaving fingerprints. Barry Allen, what are your fingerprints doing on this evil layer? You're part of it. You're arrested. No, I was the Oops. And then you're edited and he's blown. But he's got this weird underwear piece. I don't know if it's removable. Not that I want to take his underwear off. But it's like a thinner, because I think this one's made just for posing. Like, someone give me a hug. But yeah, I think because when it was in the box, it was posed with his legs sticking out like he's running. And his leg joints, you can see here, I think aren't made to really be played with. They're made for just posing mostly in that running pose. So when I bent his leg back up, it folded his underwear piece back down. So you got to be really careful when you're bending the legs so you're not cutting that off, and it kind of like reshapes the rubber. As you can see in the front, it's kind of like bent in a little bit as compared to the other side. So maybe that's just from his legs sticking out so far. So maybe we'll just keep him in a running pose. And his right arm's a little loose, but not terrible. And it's a neat flash. I do want to eventually get Grant Gustin running flash, but I don't know where I can find one. I was at a local Comic-Con earlier this year, and his feet actually tilt a little bit and bend. But yeah, you can do these little running poses, and then these little, I don't know where these are supposed to attach on here. Oh, I see. There's little grooves in his back, and these attach. I think they're supposed to attach. It's just finding the grooves. There's certain grooves in the figure that line up with the groove in these little things. But yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. So we're just going to put these down here. And I'll have to toy around with this later to really get it adjusted. I'm not too much of a fan of that, but of the underwear piece. It'll eventually, it's a very, very flexible rubber though, so it's not like this stiff material with no give. So it does move around a little bit, and I like some of these because the toes have a toe joint where the toe tips up. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to put him back on this little peg. And he's just going to sit here by the computer for a while. He'll live there for, well, position him better, balance him a little bit. There we go. He'll live there for a bit. Triple H is going to go live in the wrestling ring with his other friends here in a while. But the last one, the big one I wanted to show today is the black suit Henry Cavill Superman from Justice League. So let's rip this bad boy open. Wasting no time. Oh, yes, good. He comes with one of those, like, better stands. So same thing here. He's got the card. And the card's a little warped. Probably from just being in the packaging and getting pushed around. So we'll try to... Boom. We got that. The stand for these are awesome. Typically, any flying character, you get a really cool stand. And you can buy these things online. These are probably a worse quality one not worse, but you can buy higher quality, more durable ones online. A little bit of assembly. The base, which also has a peg, and then this elevated holder that opens so you can put a flying figure or a hovering figure, and then Superman himself. So we're going to try to pop this off again. Another tie. This one's in there a little bit tighter. I don't want to have to there we go. Let me mute the mic for a second because this is in there a little bit. All right. I hate that loud plastic crunch. But here he is, Superman, black suit. And this is the weight of this character is kind of heavy. I sometimes hate these rubber capes just because that's what the weight is. It's so thick and heavy. I think this cape weighs as much, if not more, than the actual plastic in the character himself. Oh no, Superman is dead. Oh, is he? Ha ha ha. This is my first Henry Cavill Superman. This is my first live action Superman figure. I love this figure, man. The detail is so cool. I wish it would focus. It's got the black, just so. Oh gosh, I love the black suit. His joints are really cool. His stomach bend works better. It's actually pretty firm. It tilts, and bends a little bit. His legs move sideways. They kick up and down. His knee, these are dual jointed kneecaps, which I love because they have further articulated bends and you can do more things with them. One of these legs is a little loose, which again, that happens. He's got a waist bend, like a waist joint that bends, or not bends, but turns, but doesn't want to turn too much. His head is a little stiff to move. His elbow is a little loose. And I know in the beginning of this video, I was talking about how people criticize McFarlane toys for being loose or broken in the box. Again, these are not meant to be played with as far as like, let's fight. They're not meant for that. So they're meant just for posing. So his leg is a little loose, sure. But it's not like I'm going to be throwing him around the room or anything like that. I just noticed one of the details on his cape and then why it's so thick, which makes sense. You look at the detail and it's got folds where Superman, when his cape is fully out, it can engulf his whole body, right? And then if you look at the detail here, it's folded over, so it's as if he's tucked it behind him to where it's not all the way around him. And this makes it easier to pose than having a cape that's like draping on the ground. I have a Batman like that, and it's kind of pointed tips, and it's a little bit longer, so it's curved a little bit, so it's harder to have him standing without one of those peg stands because the cape hits the floor and it pushes him. So we're going to move. He didn't have any extra hands, which is odd. They normally come with some hands. But we're going to put him on the stand here. Superman, where were you on the night of... On the stand. Okay. So basically, we have the purpose of these flying stands is what I call them. Boom. We're going to put him right here. He's going to be flying kind of, or maybe just hovering. I don't know. Yeah, we're just going to have him hovering there for a bit. But yeah, so we got Flash, Superman, and Triple H. I'll probably do more of these videos. You know, Chris and I do the weekly podcast Sunday nights live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. You can get us at facebook.com/ Facebook.com/ Between a Pot and a Hard Place. And you can check out our Facebook group at Facebook.com/groups/ Between a Pot and a Hard Place. And of course, the YouTube channel here. I'm doing the toy review unboxings, video game videos. I want to start doing more content at some point. Feeling a little bit under the weather today, or I would try to do some video game captures and stuff. I just don't feel like moving around too much. It's usually, if I'm sitting still, I do okay today, but if I'm moving around too much, it's like I just ate some stuff, I guess. But yeah, so there's that. Well, I'm going to be doing these collectible videos and all that kind of stuff, like I said, exclusively on YouTube. So if you want to check out these videos like this in the future, if you're watching this from a link on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, because we're going to share this all over, then, know that these are going to be exclusive to YouTube only. These will not be on Facebook Live. It's just one of those things. We want to differentiate the channel, give it a little bit of something extra, and it won't just be action figures. It won't just be this or that. It'll be different things. Movie reviews, perhaps. I've been thinking about a lot of different content. Chris and I have been talking about, let's do something. What can we do to? Excuse me, I'm a little congested. What can we do to, change up some stuff? And I like doing videos like this. So we're going to have some more of that coming up soon. Hopefully, Corey has been working on some of our shorts that were coming up. We're going to start doing some Mark Guggenheim stuff, and we just had on Alex Collins from Stargirl, which was an amazing interview. I love that guy. He's super cool. I hope to have him on again at some point. And we're going to start coming out with some of those shorts that you can see here on YouTube as well. Share with your friends, everything like that. And yeah, that's about it. So, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Nintendo poster back there. And this is the map for Cyberpunk back here. And I always think about this. I love how this is setting up here. You can see my dad back here. And that's one of those things they show like at a funeral home. They have displayed, and then the people there were kind enough to have them framed for us and give myself and my grandmother one of those. So I've got that on my wall, and every time I'm doing the podcast, I can see it on my screen. I can see myself, and then behind me, and it's like he's always there, and that's something that means a lot to me. And my brother, I have my brother's ashes here as well. So yeah, it's cool because I feel like they're with me when I'm doing this, and it helps me. The podcast originally in its original form started, and I've said this before on here, and this is a completely different show than it used to be. It was more of a self-preservation kind of, therapeutic kind of podcast where I just talked about things and it made me feel better. And now I talk about all the things I love, and Chris joined me, and I'm talking about shows we both love, and it's cool. But now they're kind of here with me, and I just, I get on these little tangents and I go off. But what can I say? And my brother, this one I love because my brother also loved Superman. He loved Justice League. He loved Superman was his guy. So this is going to sit next to his ashes over here. In flight. Well, not in flight, but just kind of standing. Yeah. He's going to stand there next to him. And I've always loved Flash. Not this version specifically. Not this version specifically, but I've always liked the character Flash. And let me do a quick spin here so you guys can see. My house is kind of cluttered here. But yeah, I'm going to have Superman, me, my brother, it's kind of like that representation. That's why I wanted the Black Sea Superman. You guys can see my AEW wrestling collection. Inception. Woo. Okay, I'm 12 years old playing with a video camera for the first time. Wow. But yeah, sorry about that. Get a lot of you guys dizzy there. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, like. Follow Mark Guggenheim on Twitter at @Guggenheim. Follow myself and Chris and the podcast. It's all going to be on the screen to close out. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you Wednesday night. We will see you Sunday night live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific time. Facebook.com/BetweenAPot and a Hard Place, Facebook.com/groups/BetweenAPot and a Hard Place, and right here on YouTube. My camera's a little off balance. Yeah, thank you. Follow us on Twitter and all that good stuff. Have a good day. Go buy some collectibles. Share your videos. Share your joy. Don't put too much hatred in the world. It's so much easier to hate. It's it's so much more fun, really, I was going to say it's more of a challenge to share what you love and share your life with people and say, look, this is me. This is who I am. It's harder to do. It's a bold move, Sometimes we're too concerned with what people think and stuff like that. And we don't want to do that. It's just negativity out there. I mean, I see people posting on Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff. That's why Chris and I started the Facebook group for Between a Pot and a Hard Place, so we can talk about this kind of stuff, whether it be wrestling, collectible figures, movies, TV. We just shared the Flash not the Flash trailer, but the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Epic. I'm sure we'll talk about that this Sunday. But I like to, and I believe Chris feels this way as well. We'll poke fun at things that we don't like. I'm looking at you, Hawkman, or Hawkeye, whatever. Clint, I don't really know your little superhero code. Yeah, I know. I kid. Hawkeye is not terrible. Hawkman is a DC character, but he's not that bad. But I tease. He's the Kmart or the Wish.com Green Arrow. But no, we don't really seriously bash stuff we don't like. We talk about what we love, and that's what this show is all about. That's what the main podcast is all about. And we get that wonderful opportunity to talk to great people like Mark Guggenheim, Eric Goins, Alex Collins, Jordan Elsass, Scott Schiaffo from Clerks, Marilyn Gigliotti from Clerks. Our list is growing, and people have ripped on me for like, oh, your podcast is so pathetic. You have like 2 people. It's like, dude, look, this isn't a career. This isn't a job. This is a fun hobby. This is what I love to talk about, and I'm doing it with a friend, and we're sharing it, and we're sharing that conversation with whoever wants to watch. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If it's not your thing, that's cool. That's the thing about this show. We don't focus on what's bad. We don't focus on what we dislike as much. We focus on what makes us happy, what we enjoy. And I'll tell you, I've suffered from anxiety, depression, and stuff over the last 2 years, especially. This time of year is particularly hard for me. I lost my brother 3 years ago, and I'm, next month, it's 2 years since I lost my dad. And so stuff like this, and especially sharing it with the online community, whether it be one person or 1 million people, it doesn't matter. Making a connection with somebody else and talking about something that you like and giving you that positive feeling, that's what matters, man. That's what it's all about. So if I can do that, I'm ecstatic. And I want to thank Chris for being part of that with me every week. But that's it for this week's episode, or just special episode of Let's Unbox. We'll have more of these moving forward, and Let's Play videos for video gaming. Thank you all again for watching, and have a good week. And we will see you this Sunday night live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Check us out on all the socials. right here. Have a good day. Wait a minute. There's more. We're going to be adding Instagram. We have the account up, but when we get all the details on that and get some stuff kind of up there, we'll announce that again, and we'll share that with you, and it'll be added to the graphic here. So we're going to be on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Now, I know you thought that was the end, right? It was. I just wanted to do this little bit and come back on. Seriously, guys, thank you for watching.